Okay.
Hello.
I
Your
know.
microphone. There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, it's Dave Evans here, director of Rollers of the Realm. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
We're good.
Are
Hello,
you a little
Dave.
are you getting a little giddy?
We're loopy, that's for certain.
All right.
I'm glad that you are here.
All right.
Definitely.
Let's see if I can... I'm going to try to see
we're
if I
just
can
trying
get
to
the Twitch chat back up.
Oh, I've got Twitch chat.
Yeah, but I'm into the stream.
Oh, I see.
You know.
I'm just popping you in here. I'm excited to show this game because I think it's a really interesting mashup. As he gets it loaded up, if you want to just talk a little bit about maybe who's working on the game with you and.
Yeah, sure. I work for a company called Phantom Compass. I'm a creative director there. And this game was initially put together by a group of sort of a band of misfits, not unlike the characters you'll collect in this game. Some AAA developers, people from AAA development, and a group of fairly young artists who came on, as well as some experienced artists, and a lot of people cutting their teeth on indie, moving out of AAA, who really wanted to work on something a little bit more fulfilling than what we were doing in AAA. And Phantom Compass and Tony Walsh have been great in taking us in under his wing and allowing us to make this with them. So
Cool.
that's the deal.
Awesome.
And I could talk a little bit about the when he brought us together. We just opened it up to the room to say what kind of game would we like to make together. And one of the guys who actually went on to work somewhere else fairly quickly, but he Tom Behrens came up with this idea of doing a mashup between pinball and role-playing games, and everybody looked at each other and said, "Yeah, let's do that."
Oh,
it was supposed to be something relatively doable in a short amount of time, and 2 GDCs ago, Tony brought it, not the last one, but the one before, brought it there as a 2D game, and it got a lot of a great response from people. And then we went with Unity, and now we've got this 3D game, which is just pre-beta.
Awesome. Yes, because it's definitely still in development. We got like a brand new build of this.
Yeah, I think if you pulled it last night, this is a relatively functional first chapter of the game. And basically, this is very tutorial heavy because there's quite a bit to learn, believe it or not, even though it's pinball. It's great. You can pick it up. It's intuitive. You knock the ball around. But we do have a few novel things we have to teach you about what mana's for and some of the other extra controls. The tilt. What you're normally used to in pinball is tilt, which is, of course, you have to use it sparingly lest you lose the ball. But yeah, as you can say, you can rocket the ball around without penalty, and it's really, in our world, analogous to dexterity. So this starting character is the rogue. She's a light, small thief character, and she has a very responsive nudge, so she can adjust her movement around the board very easily to get in behind enemies and backstab them, and she does extra damage from behind. And we just basically sat down and really tried to take all the different elements of role-playing that you see in classic RPGs and say, hey, how can we bring this over to something as relatively straightforward as pinball? As you've noticed, this is her. She also has a pet, so she's kind of like a pet class. So when she builds up enough mana, she's able to call in her faithful dog to help her collect gold. I guess that would make him a gold retriever.
I love
yes.
that.
We're past that pretty
I'm gonna have to
quickly.
add that to the game. Actually, I just thought of that. That was awesome.
So this is like really cool because this part here is actually a pinball puzzle game.
Yep, and intermixed with you haven't got to the combat yet. This is just sort of the tutorial, giving you sort of the feel of just getting used to pinball. And now this is a very simple board just to show you the types of puzzles you'll need to figure out, how flippers can act as gates, and how you can nudge across certain surfaces to get into certain areas. I kind of look at those boards as we like to call them sort of platforming boards. There's ones later on where you actually hit ramps and you jump in 3D space and have to jump up and grab things and do things that aren't terribly typical of pinball anyhow.
I really like. To me, I've actually played a lot of pinball games. Most think they're just nostalgic because one of my first computers, that was one of the few games it had, was a pinball game.
Yeah.
And so I love the storyline drive behind it, and that there's like these little goals to achieve. It like gives you way more to do with pinball even.
Yeah, each board is really structured around some element of the story. This is the inciting incident of the story where she's about to become involved in a little rumble here where an old drunk knight starts getting picked on by some thugs, and this is sort of the scene in the story that's going to launch the whole game, because I shouldn't give it away, but her dog's going to be stolen by the thugs for meat.
Yeah,
This is the harsh world of medieval times.
I've played this a couple times and tried to prevent that from happening. Is that possible?
It cannot be done.
Oh, okay. I thought perhaps that was the case.
Yes, it's a forced inciting incident and a very minor combat tutorial, which you will eventually be forced into loss.
Yes, well, you're just mean for that.
Yeah. I don't know if you played Shadow of the Colossus, but how many times did you try to save your horse in that game?
Right.
It wasn't possible. Oh, God, was that a spoiler? Sorry, anybody who hasn't played Shadow of the Colossus.
Actually haven't gotten all the way through it yet. So that was a spoiler for me. That's okay. I should have. It's my fault. I shouldn't been through that already.
Someone wants to know if there are boss battles.
Sorry, what's that?
Are there boss battles?
Oh yeah, there are. There's currently 6 chapters in the game, and each chapter ends with a boss battle. And the final chapter, there's a multi-tiered 3-boss battle, and they play a lot more. It's obviously all the pinball mechanics, but they really feel like intense combat. It definitely shades towards the action side of this game and away from puzzles. And that's actually the thing where I've been the most excited about is how great combat feels. I don't know how you guys feel about it in trying this game out briefly, but it really does feel like you're in a fight when these guys turn on you after you eventually rescue this.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that tension of, oh no, I have to kill these people.
Big talk for a street rat.
Because I played a lot further than he is currently, because this is the new build, we don't have our save, I guess.
Right, yeah.
I actually just continued from the beginning.
Oh, could you have?
Maybe?
I don't know.
I'm better at this than I was at the stage that I was in. I was kind of stuck, so I'm going to start over again.
So this is a combat tutorial where as you can see, there's a green sewer, which basically means the context for sewering isn't death yet. So these guys are just trying to grab you and sort of punish you for sort of interrupting their fun they're having with the knight there. But eventually, there's some audio sort of sets this up. They'll turn on you and say, okay, that's it, let's get rid of her. And then the sewer goes deadly. Now, in this case, to advance the story, it's just going to move you to the cinema. But in the game, as you play, there's the deadly sewer. As you continue to play, that's going to be, so it's going to force the cinema. That's going to be the loss of a ball. And essentially, you'll start off the game, very quickly collect 3 other characters. The knight is going to join this party, and there'll be another character, a healer, which is sort of essential to one of our core mechanics in the game, which is flipper health. Certain enemies, ranged enemies, and really strong melee characters will smash your ball into the flippers and break them apart, and you'll have to bring the healer in to heal up the flippers periodically. And everything's about encouraging play on the table. So when you bring her in, you're going to have to move her around, and she's sort of this mystical character who collects mana off of everything she touches and heals heals flippers after everything she touches. So you have to bring her in, and she can move away from the combat to collect mana and heal the flippers, and then you bring in one of your fighters. This is a tutorial just to show revive. If you have a full mana bar, you can bring back a fallen comrade. So the idea is you sort of get into this flow with the game where you start with 3 characters. If you lose one, you can sort of hedge your bet and say, you know what, I'm going to reserve my mana for offensive attacks or for defensive. This knight has a shield ability where you can cover the the shield with the sewer with the shield, or you can invest your mana in bringing one of those characters back. And as you collect characters, there's about I think there's 6 main story characters and 4 additional hires you can use. You can spend your gold on to add them to your party, and each brings another life to the collection of balls you have, and that's how many lives you have in the game.
Right.
So this is a little introduction to more puzzle play with a little tutorial on you got it, trapping the flipper. So you can swap on the fly between characters, as you see there, and every character has different attributes. The knight here is much better at smashing breakables. So if you run across crates or objects in your ways, doors, that sort of thing, you can bring in the knight and a couple other of the sort of the strong arm characters to get through. And then as you can see, you're going to need this rogue to get through the small spaces, and she's also more agile, so she's much better for these little platforming sections that you're running through here.
I positively adore the drunkenness of the night.
Yes. Yeah, that's another thing that we've had a lot of fun with is, again, I've talked about how we've taken mechanics, traditional RPG mechanics, and found ways of honoring them in pinball form. And one thing we've done with the knight, which makes him frustrating at first, which I think is important because he is an old drunk and you have to get used to that. But is to basically tell story and develop character through the mechanics. So he has this wobble to him, and he often stumbles off into sort of bizarre places as you're moving him through the board, with drunken VO and such. And eventually, as the story progresses, he slowly sobers up, and that's his character arc. So he becomes a stable, trustworthy, reliable character, which, of course, the mechanics are accentuating or supporting the story, which we thought was a lot of fun.
No, that's really cool. I didn't know that he was gonna sober up, so that's very interesting.
Yeah, so here he's like he just stumbled into that spot. So he's got these little bubbles that appear above his head when he wobbles around, and he'll be very hard to make this jump. Although, hey, you did it.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. So usually it's all about managing the mana on the table, managing the what do you call it, the health of your flippers and your characters. And sort of making decisions as to which character to use. We try to really encourage you to try out different characters. As you can see, he bowls over characters from behind because he's a big oaf, heavy character, whereas the rogue will dance on top of the characters, essentially on their backs, which also allows her to do better damage backstabbing. So all these sort of things factor into what we look at as conventions of RPG, the idea of having a damage-dealing thief that can do rapid amounts of damage from behind, but isn't really good in a straight-up one-to-one fight. Oh, you found one of our bugs here. Okay. The camera doesn't. Sometimes the camera doesn't fall the night. He'll eventually fall back down.
I had a return.
Yeah, you can just knock him.
I like the random sound effects when we can't see what's happening.
Oh wait, I saw something. Oh, there he comes.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Please come out that door. All right, good. Here, switch to the rogue. I think the rogue.
I'm trying. He's just. I'm trying. He's a little drunk. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, try the rogue on this one.
So that's a bad name.
Oh no. Boo.
Oh no.
Okay, so I think Rogue, there might be a debug command we still have in here that might help you. Oh, you went back down.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. If you can get back up to that section. If not, you can try to hit, what is it? Oh gosh, is it 8? I think it's 8. That'll probably advance you to the next board. Because you're almost there. There was just another little rooftop platforming section that you're.
Here we are.
We have cheese, Calvin.
Sweet.
Hey, oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah, it worked. That's good. Good.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. You had to make a multiple shot across some roofs, and save you the frustration of doing that. So here's a nice sort of straight up brawl where you can get a little bit more of a sense of how these characters function. Obviously, he's going to be better at clearing out those barrels, open up the space. However, if you bring in the rogue, she's going to be more apt to bounce back and forth against characters, and you can use those little pathways to create more damage from behind. Actually, this is a little more functional than I thought it was going to be.
Yay, that's the best way.
We have a really nice one right now, but we couldn't get you anything better than this last night. Well, I mean, I'm sure if there's any devs out there, no, you're not really in the business of making demos. You're in the business of making games, and sometimes you got to pull something hot off the presses to get it out there. But this isn't so bad.
No, it's pretty good.
So this is a good chance. You've got revive. You have the ability to revive if you're to cradle. So actually, if you bring in, you've got a full mana bar, so you can revive a character. So just hit the action button. The space bar, I think, if you're playing. Are you playing the keyboard or the controller?
Controller.
Oh, okay. Just the main action button. A if you're a Microsoft using type.
Oh, there's more. Oh, no.
So, we're doing pretty good. You're going to make it to this boss fight.
Ooh, we get to see one of the boss fights. Awesome.
I didn't jinx you.
So has this been received fairly well on Greenlight? Just due to its awesomeness? Or how's that going?
No, the Greenlight. I heard some other people talk about this. It definitely has gone stagnant. We had a good start to the Greenlight, and I personally think I'm not I'm no expert at this, but I'm guessing that this is not something people would be looking for in Greenlight. The people aren't saying, you know what, I'd really like to play some good pinball on PC. I think those are more obvious places are console and handheld mobile. I think the novelty of it is done well for us, but I think we really have to get people to really buy into how much fun this is, and that there is a pretty substantially robust RPG experience here. There's all this gold you're collecting is going to feed into every character has 10 upgrades, and the upgrades include completely new abilities, not just upgrades to damage and things like that, or to nudge ability and all those sorts of things. There's all sorts of different special effects and main characters you can buy. So hit try again.
Oh, did I accidentally press the other one? I just pressed a button. Continue. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Continue game.
Well,
yeah, what'll happen if you continue game?
That worked.
That worked. Yep, that worked. Yay! Good job breaking the game, Calvin.
Okay.
So we could try something. We could try something out if you want.
All right.
If you hit 8 again, you should go straight to the boss fight. You were so close.
Yeah,
by the
you
way.
were so close. You had like 1 to half alive.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's dark and
scary.
ominous.
He's got a scar and everything.
Oh yeah. So and this is a fully voiced game. What you're playing has some holes in the voicing because we've rewritten things and worked in some tutorials and stuff, but it will be fully voiced. And also the music we've found this a acquaintance of ours who's sort of put together the sound. And he has a company. What is it called? Indie Game Audio. Troy Morrissey works with a partner in LA named Penka. I think it's Coneva, and she's worked with on a bunch of great games, Prince of Persia, Gears of War, and she also does orchestration for the Transformers franchise, the films, and Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff. So she's got quite a bit of experience working on big projects, but they're very dedicated to providing audio for indie devs as well, and they've done a fantastic job. And again, we really get off on this idea of taking something absurd as mashing up pinball and RPG and taking it to as far as we can. So we get this big score and fully voiced dialogue moments and stuff like that because we think it pushes it further away from what you would expect from pinball. So I think the mechanic's working properly. This guy's terrified of the dog that he's captured for meat. Oh yeah, this is this crazy effect we've had. Actually,
I was trying to revive the girl with the dog. But...
Oh right,
Where
you
were
have
the
to.
butterflies?
Yeah, you revive. That's the flipper healing. What do you call it? Use of mana. You have to actually select her as a dead character. Now you can revive her. So revive's available. So you would swap to her on the flipper. So swap to her and then hit A to bring her back in.
Oh,
and then what? She collects enough mana.
I just put it right down into the tunnel. There we go.
Oh darn. But this is a fairly simple version of the types of boss fights we have available. And I don't know, what do you guys think in terms of the feel of the combat?
Oh, I like it a lot. It's very unique, you know? I mean, there's nothing
unique.
really like... The closest thing I've played to this would be something like Metroid Pinball, which I enjoyed quite a bit, but this is something entirely different, just with all the different characters being the pinball balls. That's just...
You have my dog, and I would like him back if you...
Yeah, we have a demo coming out. I think it's going to be available this Wednesday, and we want to obviously get people interested in this game to sort of boost our likes on our thumbs up, our yeses on Steam. But another side of this is a fairly novel thing we're trying to do, and we'd love to get feedback from people to play this game. The more people that play it, we have a lot of really good feedback from pinball, self-proclaimed pinball experts and junkies who really like the feel of it pinball-wise, and it's been a trick, but relatively successful. The way we've been able to still keep it playable as for combat and for example, swapping characters on the flippers. We had to make some tough decisions on how easy it is to cradle the ball, because it's in real pinball it's not easy to do that. So it does allow for a certain amount of what we're saying is mid-core play. It's not hardcore. It's not. It's a little bit easier than standard pinball, but then we're asking people to do a lot more in terms of the control of where the ball's going. And we're really trying to strike the right balance. So we'd love to get feedback about for people. This is basically what they're going to see in the demo. We have shut off some side rooms. There's some small side quests and things like that. The game's not completely linear, so that's another element of RPG which we have in the game. But I believe the demo will probably look exactly like this, and we'd love to get people to do a playthrough and let us know what they think.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody who plays it should definitely leave comments on the Greenlight as well.
Yep.
Because comments really are powerful. Comments, favorites, follows, and of course upvotes. Because Valve looks at everything. And so if you want this game to get on Greenlight, it's going to see some difficult times, because it's not a first-person zombie shooter. So.
Yeah, I mean that's the. I don't know what you guys think of this, but my feeling is that people who come to the game without, if everybody had heard about this game, and I think a lot of the people could get very excited about it, and obviously if you had a big marketing campaign, people might come to Greenlight and give you a yes vote. But in terms of people just sort of browsing Greenlight looking for the game they want to play, I don't think people are necessarily looking for no one's going to look for a game like this. I think they're going to have to know it's good and know it's fun and then come to it because of the novelty of it. So that's, I think, the biggest trick. Again, if you're doing a first-person zombie game, then you just have to put something out that looks fantastic and plays pretty good. But people are going to probably vote it up because they want something like that.
No, that makes sense. Hopefully they do that, because they want it. I want it. I think it's great.
Okay, cool.
So I'm glad that we got to get you on the show. We've only got about 3 minutes left. So is there anything else that you wanted to really talk about as far as what's important, or something that doesn't really come across well unless you played the game?
I think I covered most of the mechanics. I should probably reiterate the game is Rollers of the Realm. It's coming out from a company called Phantom Compass. You can go to rollersoftherealm.com if you want to keep up on what's happening with the game, and that's also where you're going to get the demo, rollersoftherealm.com. and go to Steam Greenlight and vote us up, because I think obviously Steam is where it's at for this type of thing, and we do have plans beyond PC, but our focus right now is to get this out as a PC exclusive game, and then we'll go from there. So I think I pretty much covered everything. It's a robust RPG with a lot of loot and a lot of gold, and I hope people enjoy the story. There's quite a bit of story in there too. So,
Cool.
Did anyone have any last minute questions in the chat? Because that's also totally allowed. Just because I'm just thinking, it's like, I don't know, it's hard to come up with everything to explain to people.
Ultimately, we think I'd love to get people's first impressions when they pick it up, because our hope is, and our feeling is, and from bringing it to GDC and seeing people play it, they immediately, it is something you have to feel, you have to play to get it, because it does feel like pinball. And the first time you actually fight, that back and forth, flipper, hitting the ball up against characters and back on your flipper, it feels like you're in this mortal struggle. And it's when you give things up to physics, I think you often get really great results in terms of feel. And that's the kind of thing I think that might be missing from exposing it here, just because people have to feel it and play it. So I would really implore people to check it out. Again, I think Wednesday's our target for getting this thing up. And you can check out the public demo.
That's awesome. That is very awesome. I've posted a link to the game itself on Steam, so hopefully people will give you some upvotes.
Awesome.
It's been so much fun getting to know you over the course of this whole organizing of the event, even though it's just been a little bit.
And guys, thank you so much for doing this. I think this is an awesome thing, and it looks like it's getting some traction. Good on you guys. Thank you so much for having us be part of this.
It's been our pleasure.
Tons of fun playing all these cool games.
It has, yeah. It's hard, but I feel like all of you became our friends, so it's like we're doing it for friends, and that makes it so, it really makes it worth it. It's like, woo, I love all of you.
Okay, awesome.
So it's totally awesome. We do need to move over to the next game, but I'm not seeing him online. I just sent him an email, so...
Perhaps we would just play it at this point?
Yeah, we can just play that.
All right.
I don't know what else to do, really, so... he was, in all fairness, Ian was on vacation for like 5 days just before this, so I don't know what's going on.
All right.
But, we just played Rollers of the Realm. And it was awesome.
It was awesome.
And David said lots of smart things.
Oh, that's awesome.
Any closing statements before you head out?
No, I'm good. I'm just enjoying being flattered. So.
You're amazing and handsome and smell like berries and potatoes. I don't know. What are men supposed to smell like?
Potatoes.
I don't know.
Potatoes?
Potatoes is pretty good.
All right. Well, take care, guys.
All right. You too.
Okay. Bye.
All right.